Have you ever wondered how the flour you use daily is made? Flour, the backbone of our beloved breads, pastries and pastas, is a culinary staple across the globe. It's so widespread, yet its journey from field to pantry often goes unnoticed. Flour starts its life as humble wheat, swaying in vast fields under the sun. It's a sight that's as beautiful as it is symbolic of our connection to nature. These golden grains are more than just a part of the scenery. They're the very beginning of a complex and fascinating process that transforms them into the versatile flour we use every day. From the farmer's field to the miller's hands, every step is a testament to human ingenuity and our enduring relationship with the earth. So how exactly does this transformation occur? How does a simple grain of wheat become a key ingredient in our daily meals? Join us on this fascinating journey from wheat to flour. The journey to flour begins with the humble wheat grain. This seemingly simple grain is actually quite complex, coming in a variety of types, each with its own unique characteristics. First, we have hard wheat, known for its high protein content. It's the muscle behind sturdy bread loaves and pasta dishes, lending them their robust structure. Then there's soft wheat, a lighter, more tender grain. It's the secret behind your flaky pastries and delicate cakes. And finally, we have durum, the hardest of all wheat types, boasting an impressive protein profile. This is your go-to grain for pasta, giving it that signature al dente bite. Each type of wheat plays a crucial role in flour production, influencing the texture, taste and functionality of the final product. From hard wheat's robust structure to durum's signature bite, the type of wheat used can make all the difference in your culinary creations. Now that we've met our main ingredient, it's time to see it in action. The transformation from wheat to flour begins with harvesting and cleaning. Picture a sea of golden wheat swaying gently in the summer breeze. Harvesting is the first step in our journey, and timing is everything. The wheat must be harvested when it's just ripe, typically in midsummer. This is when the wheat is at its most plump and nutritious, but not so ripe that it's started to fall from the stalk. Farmers use combines, these impressive machines that can both cut and thresh the wheat. The cutting component severs the wheat stalks, while the threshing component separates the grain from the chaff. In essence, a combine is a one-stop shop for harvesting and threshing. But the wheat isn't ready for milling just yet. It needs to be cleaned first to remove any impurities. You see, wheat fields are not just home to wheat, they're also home to a variety of other plants and critters. So it's likely that our harvested wheat contains a bit of this and that, a smattering of weed seeds, perhaps a stray leaf or twig, and of course a bit of dirt. This is where cleaning comes into play. The harvested wheat is passed through a series of sieves and screens, each designed to remove a specific type of impurity. Larger objects like twigs and stones are removed first, then the wheat is winnowed, a process that uses air to blow away lighter impurities like chaff and dust. The wheat may also be washed with water to remove any lingering dirt or dust. But don't worry about the wheat getting soggy. It's dried thoroughly afterward to ensure it's in prime condition for milling. So there you have it. From the field to the cleaning station, our wheat has undergone quite a journey, and we're only just getting started. With our wheat grains clean and ready, we move on to the next stage, milling. Now our cleaned wheat grains are ready to enter the mill. Picture this, a bustling factory, machines humming and churning with a purpose. This is where the magic happens. Our wheat grains' journey to becoming flour begins in earnest here in the milling process. The first step is breaking down the wheat grain. Each grain of wheat contains 3 parts, the bran, the germ and the endosperm. Each of these parts plays a unique role in the ultimate product we know and love as flour. The outer layer, the bran, is the hard-shelled protector of the grain. It's rich in fiber and nutrients, lending a hearty, robust flavor to whole grain flours. The germ is the embryo of the grain, the life-giving center packed with oils and vitamins. It gives flour a rich, nutty flavor. The endosperm is the largest part of the grain, starchy and protein-rich. This is the main source of white flour. The milling process breaks down these grains, separating the bran, germ and endosperm. The grains are first cracked, then ground down into smaller and smaller pieces. This is done by a series of rolling mills, each one breaking down the grain a little more. The process is a delicate balance of pressure and precision, a dance of machinery that yields the finest particles. These particles are then separated by size through a process of sifting. The largest particles, mostly bran and germ, are separated out. The remaining endosperm is then ground down further, becoming the fine powder we recognize as flour. Different types of flour are made from these parts. Whole wheat flour contains all three parts of the grain, while white flour is made from only the endosperm. The different combinations of these parts create a symphony of flavors and textures, each one unique and beautiful in its own right. This milling process gives us our raw flour, but we're not quite finished yet. After milling, it's time for sifting and possibly bleaching. Once the wheat has been milled into a coarse flour, the next step is sifting. This process is also known as bolting. Sifting is crucial to achieving a fine and smooth consistency. Picture a giant sieve, but instead of a kitchen gadget, it's a high-tech piece of machinery. The coarse flour is passed through this sieve-like device, which separates the flour into different grades based on particle size. The finest particles make what we know as white flour, while the larger particles become whole wheat flour or are used for other types of grain products. Now, you might be wondering, why is some flour whiter than others? That's where bleaching comes into play. It's not about making the flour cleaner, but rather about giving it a whiter appearance. In fact, bleaching is a purely cosmetic process that doesn't affect the nutritional value of the flour. The bleaching process involves treating the flour with chemicals such as benzoyl peroxide or chlorine gas. These substances react with the pigments in the flour, neutralizing them and resulting in a whiter product. It's important to note that the levels of these chemicals used are strictly regulated and are safe for consumption. However, not all flour is bleached. Some people prefer unbleached flour, which retains its natural color. Unbleached flour is often labeled as such and may be slightly more expensive due to the lack of processing. Whether bleached or unbleached, sifted flour is then ready for the next step in the journey. But before it gets there, it's checked for quality. This includes testing for things like moisture content, protein levels, and of course, ensuring it's free from any contaminants. So, there you have it. Milling breaks the wheat down, sifting refines it, and bleaching, if used, gives it that iconic white color. But the journey isn't over yet. Our flour is almost ready, but there's one more step before it hits the market. Finally, our flour is ready to be packed and sent to stores near you. The packaging process is a crucial step in maintaining the quality of the flour. It begins by transferring the flour from large storage silos to a packing machine, where it's weighed accurately to ensure every bag contains the right amount. The flour is then sealed tightly in bags to keep it dry and free from contaminants. These bags can range from small household sizes of 1 kilogram or 2 up to large sacks for commercial use that hold up to 25 kilograms. It's important that during this process, the flour is kept in a cool, dry environment. Any moisture can cause the flour to clump together and potentially encourage the growth of mold, which would spoil the product. Once the flour is securely bagged, it's palletized. That's a fancy term for stacking it on a pallet. It's then wrapped in plastic to keep it secure during transport. These pallets of flour are loaded onto trucks, which deliver them to distribution centers. From these centers, the flour is sent to various destinations: supermarkets, grocery stores, bakeries, and even directly to large-scale food manufacturers. Each destination has its own unique requirements for delivery, whether it's a small local bakery that needs a weekly delivery of a few bags, or a large factory that uses several tons of flour each day. And it doesn't just stay local. Flour is a global commodity. It's shipped around the world, crossing oceans and continents to reach consumers. The journey of flour is a testament to our interconnected world, where a grain of wheat harvested in one country can end up as part of a delicious pastry in another. And there you have it. The journey from wheat to flour is complete. From the fields where the wheat is grown, through the complex processes of harvesting, cleaning, milling, sifting, packing, and distributing. Every step is vital in bringing this staple food to our tables. So the next time you're baking a cake or kneading dough for bread, Take a moment to appreciate the journey your flour has taken to reach you.